Thus goes a saying, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But this quote that encourages promptitude is frustrated in a legal situation, as traffic snag could deny you early time to bed, render you weak to rise, sickly, poor, and dull. Hello viewers, I hope this episode made you in good health. If so, doxology. It is not strange to anyone that Lagos has two major parts, rich end Lagos and ghetto Lagos. Whichever part you reside in or work at, the Lagos Metro is generally characterized by awful daily traffic experience. The roads are narrow, bad, and busy. It makes great discomfort to be stranded in heckling heat with mad traffic in Lagos. In ghetto Lagos, for instance, big, old, smoky vehicles known as Molue overload passengers, with most passengers standing and hanging on. Also in the Molue contraption, preachers and drug hawkers help with horrible noise, marketing ideas, and other commodities. Lagos State Metro is generally characterized by crazy traffic. And to imagine women and children hanging on a mobile bus like this, tightly packed together, with serious heat descending on them and hanging on for hours in serious and mad traffic. And to add to that, preachers and drug sellers will add noise upon noise and continue to shout on them. They don't enjoy themselves. Nobody likes this kind of experience. This is what traffic is like in the ghetto Lagos. But it is not also good for those in the other rich end part of Lagos, because they also witness the traffic. But just in case the Molue experience is strange to you, let me give you a ride. Why not hop in and let's face Oshodi. Everything is available here. You want to buy a drug, or you want to listen to fresh sermon, everything is available on the Molue transport. So hop in and let's go to Oshodi. But then, the Molue is not the only means of transport in Lagos. Even in the ghetto part, there's also what we call BRT. If you don't care about comfort, you can go for Molue. If you care about comfort, stay in a long queue and join BRT buses. But whether you go by BRT or you go by Molue, all of us are passengers, and everybody will surely encounter what is called crazy traffic. Everyone gets stranded no matter what, whether you go by BRT or you go by Molue. But there are so many causes of traffic in Lagos. One of them is the my car people. For example, everyone wants to go in his own private car. Imagine if all the private cars on this road are off and everybody joins the public transport. You could imagine how easy the road would be. But no, Lagosians won't do that. Everybody wants to show off. I also own a car. And another factor responsible for this traffic is the poor state of roads, which I call the baje roads. But then, even as narrow as the roads are and as bad as they are, the government is still trying to make sure that they create what they call mega Lagos. And what they mean by mega Lagos is what you can see here. For example, this truck has always used this route, for example, but now the Lagos state government is trying to expand the space that is used to plant flowers. So there will now be wider space for flower and narrower road for cars or vehicles to pass. So soon enough, government will begin to demolish houses to plant more flowers and to put more Christmas lights, and that is the mega Lagos. But to further make the Lagos Metro experience horrible, road touts disguised as transport workers delay commercial vehicles, claiming illegal levies. Sometimes it results in fights. I call it illegal because they resort to bear joints with the money they collect and smoke off what is left of their brains at certain corners. It results in fine most times. That I'll show you some clip here where they argue with bus conductors and drivers, and then they make sure that they extort people. Some it even results in hike in price of transport sometimes. You can see these people fighting, for example, after the guy claimed he wanted to collect some money, and this guy said, no, I'm not going to give you. So it became this. These guys are not alone. After they collect all this money, they have some people behind, the bridge, that they will go and cut the money into different halves and give some people some their shares, and then they do nothing with the money than smoke off their heads. Even the police too do this in their uniform. They just park taxis anyhow. They open into the taxi and say, okay, drive to the station. But they know definitely that because the guy is afraid, he will say, oh, okay, I'm not willing to go with you to the station. How do we settle this? So they collect money from people, and then they say, okay, you're now free. And even LASTMA officials, some of them pretend to be nice, some of them are actually reasonable, but some of them authoritatively extort. I've seen a lot in Lagos, for example. Recently I caught one LASTMA officer. Some even beg indirectly. They do as if they are assisting you to do something. Maybe your car gets spoiled by the roadside and they want to be nice at you. It's because they want money. This man, for example, extorted the other guy that was matching with him. I caught him with my camera, but it was just so unfortunate. I lost that clip as I was collecting money because the memory on my camera was filled up at the time. Here's another one, for example. They're just parking car on Sunday afternoon, people coming back from the church, and they're extorting money. There's even a guy among them that was asking everybody to be opening their books, asking different questions. Let me see your fire extinguisher, let me see this, let me see that. But all is just good for an excuse of what you don't have, so I can use that as an entry point. I'd like to show you another clip here. These guys just drove to meet up with the bus I was in, and then they just called the guy selling bottled water and collected whatever they wanted, and I directed the guy to come and collect money from my bus driver. And this is what happened between the driver and the conductor afterwards. They argued. The conductor didn't like the idea, but the driver said it was in their own interest to do the bidding of the LASTMA officers. After collecting what they wanted, the LASTMA officers just zoomed off, and it became argument between driver and bus conductor. Before closing this episode, I want to show you two funny clips. There's this guy you're looking right now. What the guy does is that he comes to every park and begs passengers for money. But what makes his story so interesting and funny is that if he asks you for money and you fail to give him money, or you don't have the money, the guy will abuse you and go. And the second funny clip I want to show you before rounding up this episode is of this guy you're looking at in the police van. The guy met a lady on the way, and the girl wanted to travel to Owerri. She needed 5,000 naira to travel. The guy professed love to her and offered her 3,000 naira of the 5,000 naira she needed to travel. So when it was about time for the car to move, the guy went to fetch additional 2,000. But before he returned, another co-passenger had offered the girl additional 1,000 naira to add up to the money. And because it was a threat to the love he already professed to the girl, knowing that the girl will be traveling with the girl to Owerri, he knows that the guy may have taken over her heart. So we went to call the police to come and take charge of the situation. So the police came with a van to take the guy and the lady away, so that at the end of the day, the other guy will not be able to take his sweethearts. But what makes this funny is that even before they left that scene, other guys, bystanders, were pretending to be helping them settle the matter, I'd already started collecting the lady's number, and I'm sure by the time they get to the police station, the police will also advise the guy to take his money and go, or advise him to forget about the whole situation. But I'm sure the police were already hiring the guy before they left the scene. I mean, police know like better thing. Anyway, before I want to close this scene, I want to advise you that anytime you want to travel within Lagos, make sure you acquire your own private jet so that you can fly above the crazy Lagos traffic. It's very hot here. I just got off a Molue. I need to take a shower.